everybody and welcome back to another On The Table video, guys. So, what are we going to be looking at this week? Well, I've been away and I've been doing some painting, guys. That's right. So, do you guys remember the Praetorian Servitor I built last time? The big leggy boy? Well, I've actually finished him. Here he is. Haha! Look at this leggy boy right here. He looks absolutely fantastic. I was really happy with the way I painted him. A little bit annoying to paint, mainly just because I got the skin tone wrong on multiple occasions, so I had to go in and redo it over and over again. But for what he serves a purpose as being a Sidonian Dragoon, and he is pretty much adequate for it. And once more, he actually looks really good alongside his two brothers right here. So this is going to be my squad of 3 Sidonian Dragoons, and they're pretty decent. I mean, they're decent in combat, they're decent looking unit. I like how I kind of got a really decent kind of how do you say, standardization between them. Like, you can tell that they're all supposed to be part of the same unit, mainly because sentinel legs, ogre bodies, and then heavy welding equipment. But yeah, really cool. They look awesome together. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I really wish that on the sprue that you actually got more of these heads from my one of my original ones here, because they just look a bit more mechanicum than regular no eye lenses. But yeah, so I was pretty happy with the way they turned out. So we're just going to pop them back. I'm going to move them back a bit further, just over there. I also did some more painting, and I painted up this guy here. So this is my Daedalus, Dandelionus. I can't pronounce his name. This is my tech priest stand-in for that character that came out for the Blackstone Fortress. Painted him up. Pretty easy, pretty quick paint job. No real annoying bits on there. Apart from I did have to break the arm off because I couldn't get up and under there with a regular paintbrush easily. But yeah, quite a nice model. I may replace him at some point because I've got ideas to kind of make a female tech priest using Inquisitor Greyfax, because she looks pretty cool with a Skitarii hood on. Looks like a female mechanicum mistress, tech priestess, tech mistress. So yeah, so I had fun painting him, and I'm probably going to retire him, but hey, he'll serve again a purpose for now. Now, guys, the thing that I'm going to show you now is something that I've been working on for a while, and I've kind of been agonising over this. I've been trying to come up in my mind with a suitable and reasonable and believable proxy for the Skorpius Disintegrator, which is that new admech tank that got released not long ago. Obviously the rules and stuff are out now, and it's fairly decent in regards to points-wise versus what you get. You get an awful lot of bang for your buck regarding to points. You get missiles, you get I think 3 heavy stubbers, and you get a really cool cannon as well, like a really cool laser weapon. But I was agonising forever because I really don't like the model, and I tried to make a stand-in proxy for it last year, and it failed miserably, and I just wanted to throw that fucking thing through the window and never see it again, because it just looked dog shit upon reflection. So I decided I'd have a little root around in my bits collection and I'd see what I could find, and I did come across 2, that's right guys, 2 Chimera chassis. So in the end I ended up making this. Haha, here it is. This is pretty much my stand-in for the Skorpius not Skorpius Dune Rider. My mistake, the Skorpius Disintegrator. Relatively simple once I worked out what bits I was going to use. No joke, guys, the hardest bits on this, the hardest bit to actually do was this engine part at the back, because I needed to have something that I had 2 of, and I needed to have something that I could standardise, because in the end I ended up making 2 of them. So yeah, so I've got 2 of them now, which is quite nice, and it means that I kind of, they're all going to look the same because I built them at the same time. I'm not going to have any kind of major differences or variances from it. So, what parts are in this? Well, we've got a Chimera chassis. By the way, turrets are magnetised. Speaking of the turrets, they are Lehman Russ turrets. New pattern Lehman Russ turrets, might I add, that I picked up from the Forge World Open Day in the Bits Challenge. The actual gun is a really cool part, and I wish I had more of them. I got to have a big shout out to Blame the Dice Wargaming, who actually let me come round and steal lots and lots of bits that were all Mechanicum-like. This is actually an antenna array from the Bastion kit, but if you put it on its side and paint the glowy bits glowy, it actually looks like a really cool pew-pew cannon, really cool laser weapon. It's supposed to have 3 heavy stubbers, I didn't have that many heavy stubbers, so I gave it a heavy stubber and autocannon because I was like, well, you know, it kind of looks this, you know, it doesn't look the same, but it's, you can imagine it pumping out the same amount of shots. You know what I mean? It's got the same amount of firepower. But anyway, so yeah, they'll be used at what they actually are in the rules when they're actually on the table. But for this intents and purposes, that's what that is. So that was the main turret assembly going on there, and I used some more bits from the bastion on the back of it here just to add a little bit more gothic flair to it. The front of them feature, move out of the way, a Dreadnought's missile pod, because this has missiles as well on the front. I didn't have anything big enough, and the missile pod here fits quite nicely just inside. I was quite happy with that. Side bits, again, more stuff off the Bastion kit. You get an awful lot of skulls, an awful lot of techie bits with the Bastion, which I really like. Moving on to the engine bit here, the power plant for the crazy laser cannon. That is the cowling of a Imperial Knight rapid fire battle cannon assembly. We got some other like Mechanicum terrain piece here, which is this cool plasma coil type thing. It came with a little handle on here, so obviously Skitaria or whatever can carry it around, but I thought it looks pretty decent there, so I kind of filed one side flat and stuck it on the side there. And then this is again from a Imperial Knight Castellan, or Valiant, I can't remember which one it is. It's from one of the weapons off that, but it just looks like a cool little capacitor or something like, I don't know, like a vacuum tube or something that's just helping whatever the engine work. We've got some power cables here, some nice greasy, oily power cables, and then at the back we have taken over the rear of the Chimera, because you don't need to enter and exit this tank through the rear. Nah, once you're in this tank, you're in it for life. That is the way of the Skitari. But yeah, that's just off the, I think, Sector Mechanicus sprue, Mechanicum terrain sprue. Looks really cool. Looks like it's got a great big heatsink at the back. Very, very happy with the way it turned out. It painted up really nice, painted up really quick. The only thing I've really got to do on it, I think, is I'm going to paint this line here, where it joins between the tracks and the actual side armour here, because it'll add a nice little bit of boundary, and it'll make it'll look a little bit more detailed. So I'm going to add that, maybe with some black or some grey. But yeah, that's what I've been. I did some weathering as well, some weathering in those little like vents there and things like that. But I'm very, very happy with the way these turn out, and for friendly games, they're absolutely perfect. It'd be awesome, actually, guys, to hear your thoughts and your opinions on what these look, on how you think these look. You know, would you play against an opponent using proxies such as these, or would you be like, nah, get out of town, get the real models, even though you hate them? Yeah, so guys, let me know in the doobly-doo down below. Some other news as well, another little bit of information. I have managed to repair my SOTAR 2020, got all the new assembly and stuff for that, and that is working a-okay. It's all working back up to full standard, and it was actually a really big help in painting these as well, because it meant I had to do very little fiddly brush work when it came to doing things like the turrets and the other little fiddly bits on the tank. So I'm very, very happy that the SOTAR is up and running. I also have a nice little mounting system for my airbrushes. I'll just turn it around, reveal my graffiti wall where I test airbrush off spray. But yeah, so we've got airbrushes up there. Stole this idea from Moggy. So they're just stored up there. They're no longer stored in a drawer, getting wrecked. And then also my quick release, because I got quick releases for them, is here, which is great because it means that I can just pop a Patriot 105 on there and blah 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 blast away, and then when I don't want that, I can detach it and I can put my SOTAR 2020 on there and blah 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 blast away. So fairly happy with that, and then obviously I can just hang that back up there. So yeah, I've had a pretty productive a couple of days so far doing these. A few other things that I actually got as well. I was on the this isn't, I'm not sponsored or anything, by the way, before any of you guys say anything. I was just on the website. I was on the Barwell Bodyworks website. I noticed that they had a bunch of these paints here. These are Badger paints, specifically designed for airbrushes. So they're airbrush paints, if you will. They're designed for those airbrushes that have the canister underneath that you screw on. So basically, you can put it straight in, screw it on, and then you can just blast away. However, they work perfectly well in gravity feed airbrushes also. I got loads. They were on offer like 50p a pot, so I think I ended up getting, I got one pot here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got like 12 pots for like £6, which I was very, very happy about. But they're really, really decent. My battery's about to run out, by the way, guys, so if I cut out, I'm terribly sorry. Decent in regards to the quantity that you get. How much are they? I think this is in ounces because they're American. Yeah, it's 1 ounce, 30 cc's, and I can't remember what that actually is in English terms. But yeah, so really decent. You get a decent amount. They don't need any thinning whatsoever. They go for airbrush really well, and they got great coverage. Really, really good. I didn't actually, on the test piece that I did, I don't have it with me. No, I do. I'm telling lies. Which was this little palm tree thing here. I literally did 1 coat of it with no primer, and it stuck really well, and it really doesn't chip very much either. You know, I've been flicking away and clawing away at this, and it's not really damaged it at all. This is obviously with a bit of wash on there just to provide a bit of a contrast, but very, very good. If you want some cheap paints, you know, that are reasonable in price, I mean more than reasonable, 50p, head over to the Barwell Bodyworks website. The link is not in the doobly-doo down below because I'm not sponsored by them, but just go over there if you want some cheap paints. They're very, very good. And with that being said, guys, I'm going to let it be because my battery's about to die. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, leave that comment in the doobly-doo down below. Don't forget to like, favourite and follow, and you know, stick around for more awesome stuff from Enter the Wolf Time. And I'll see you guys again in the next video. Don't forget to check out the Instagram. Thank you very much for watching. See you now, and goodbye.